Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Traffic issues and some kind of weird feedback driving the Moneyline Madmen insane. I got caught up in some Chicago traffic yesterday that kept me out of the ability to get here, and it's unfortunate because I would have been on the Braves because it's a 50-50 game. It was a 50-50 game yesterday, and you were getting the plus line. It's a 50-50 game again today, although I'm not so sure I was going to take the Braves today because my strategy would have been that they'll win one of the two as the 50-50 game, get that one, get that money, and then wait till they get back to Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, they got the pitching matchup again today, I think. But yeah, traffic, it was some kind of accident or something. You never know. When do you turn around? Or, I've done it before where you turn around and then all of a sudden traffic moves and you're already committed to turning around. So
Maybe some rattlesnake bit a guy in the leg unexpectedly in his car, like it happened to me on the way home from Kentucky. It didn't bite me, but some other dude got bit by a rattlesnake that somehow snuck into his car, bit him in the leg, and ended up tying up traffic on, I don't know, 75 or something like that. The highway that cuts across Kentucky from like Lexington to Churchill. Everything I do horse racing. Louisville. And then you turn up on I-65 to head north towards Chicago through Indianapolis and so forth. But anyway, we got plenty to get through today. Probably not a whole lot of time because the games get cracking in about an hour or so, Sean. I think we ought to get to work right away and see what we're going to do this day. You got the Braves in game 2. You mentioned you got Max Fried starting, lefty, versus Urquidy, righty. Houston does a pretty good job of hitting lefties, and I feel like maybe the money is definitely starting to head Houston's way here. I guess a lot of folks feel like Houston's going to make good after last night.
Yeah, I think this is one of those Houston's backs up against the wall. They got to win tonight if they're going to win at all type deal.
Well, they're going to. I mean, the Braves aren't sweeping them. Sean.
No, they're not. No, they're not sweeping them. But you can't. They can't go down.
What's the line? What's the line on 4 or 5? That would be curious to me.
Well, I'll tell you, I looked at that, and I think the Braves to sweep were like plus 1,800.
Well, I mean, I think if they get through tonight, you're probably maybe 60-40 that happens.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have the next 3 at home, so.
Well, they can't. They need the next 2. That's what a sweep is, Sean. It means 4.
I know.
4 out of 5.
You said 4 or 5. So
yes, correct. But you brought up the sweep, not me. At 1,800, I'm not getting plus 1,800.
No, I don't think they're going to sweep. I'm just saying if the Astros are going to win this series, they need to win tonight. So
yeah, well, absolutely, they don't win tonight. I think you can't. But that knife is deep. It's just not been twisted yet. If they lose tonight.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Braves again, plus value, just because the way they play and they just got all the momentum. I said I'd rather have Fried than Urquidy pitching. I know Houston does good against lefties, but still, I'd rather have Fried pitching. So I'm going to take Atlanta in the plus value.
So you're going to get plus 104. That's the maximum you can get. It was a little bit higher earlier in the day, Sean. Maybe if you took a different route, you would have got a little bit better number. Turn around a little sooner. But so you're going to get plus 104, but it looks like the majority of the folks, a little bit more than 60% of the tickets are on the Astros, but more than 70% of the money is following the team from Texas. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that kind of interesting, right? The Braves lose the All-Star game, but instead they get the World Series. I think if you ask the players, they take that trade every time.
No, absolutely.
For me, I'm going to lean Houston, Sean. I just feel like you mentioned, their backs are against the wall. What's up, Drew? We got all kinds of crazy hours, man. Good thing you're out on the West Coast or in Rado, the 420 state. Go Braves. Yes, you and Sean, kindred spirits in that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I hope I didn't jinx them. I probably did by taking them.
Well, that's your team. You never bet on your team, Sean. That's why I avoid the Cowboys. They always beat me anyway. So I feel like, what do you think about the total in that game, Sean? Do you feel like it's going to be an under game, 2 good pitchers, or you think this is going to be some runs again?
If I had to lean, I'd lean the under, but I don't know because the Braves offense has been rolling. So it's hard to tell. It could go either way. I would stay away from it.
I think it's likely to go over tonight because Houston does hit some lefties. I feel like they're going to hit the ball tonight, and I feel like the Braves are going to hit the ball tonight. So I think 8.5 is a good number. You can get over 8.5 for minus 109. You can get over 9 for plus 105. So if you feel like that half a run, or you can get over 9, yeah, for plus 105. So I feel like the game is likely to go over, Sean, but me and baseball totals, we don't get together very well.
Yeah.
All right, let's head on over to the NBA, the National Basketball Association. I got quite a few things working on here tonight, Sean, but let me stipulate by saying that I changed up the Excel algorithm a little bit to reflect home and away defenses. But I'm using a lot of data from this year, and the defensive statistics are a little bit sparse. So there's going to be a pretty wide variance, I'd say, this early in the season. Give me about another 4 or 5 games in, and it should be spot on. So I'm only going to bet $5 on these because, as I said, there's going to be a lot of degree of error right now. So let's get cracking in the first game. Orlando and Charlotte, Sean. Orlando is a 5.5 point underdog at home by Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I like Charlotte here. I mean, they're young, exciting. They're scoring a lot of points. Both defenses really aren't that good, but Charlotte's offense is just that much better than Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take Charlotte giving up 5.5.
So you're going to take Charlotte giving up 5.5. Looking at the line in terms of what the bettors are doing, Charlotte is the team taking in the money. Well, I'm looking at the money line. So they're taking in the money on the money line. Most folks think they're going to win. But on the spread, they're taking in over 85% of the money, Sean. So it looks like you're on the side that most folks are on. I'm going to take a little different approach in that game, Sean. The total in the Charlotte Orlando game is 2. I can get 216. Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to take over 216, Sean, for minus 112.
Yeah, I see on FanDuel it's 220.5. So wow.
Yeah, I get 4 points and I only pay 2 cents. Okay. Sign me up, Sean. I'm going over that number, but only for $5 because, as I mentioned, I have the game going considerably over, and I do have Charlotte smoking them by a lot. I could have gone either way. I just trust the totals a little bit more than I do the team side.
What's nice about Charlotte, I mean, they don't have that one main scorer, but, with Bridges, LaMelo Ball. Wow.
Yeah,
Gordon Hayward. They got a bunch of guys that can score 20 points, so if one guy's off, they have other guys to step in and
take over.
Yeah, so
you have the disappointing Brooklyn Nets to this point. Maybe they're going to send a petition to the governor of New York. Can we please let Kyrie play? Brooklyn is a 3.5 point favorite at home against Miami. That number looks to be just about. This looks like it could be. Both of these offenses have struggled, but it looks to me like this game could be one that is pretty close because neither team has really blossomed yet with the ball.
Yeah, this is one. These two teams, I seen this matchup right away, and I just looked the other way and don't want to touch either one of these teams right now. You probably take Miami if you're taking anything. Just Brooklyn, who knows what's going on with them right now.
Yeah, I'm loath to do this, Sean, because Brooklyn sometimes doesn't play defense, but so far this year, it looks like they've been somewhat interested on that side of the floor. I'm going to take here another line that kind of got bounced up a little bit. I'm going to take under 219, Sean. Again, $5 for minus 109. I have this game actually coming in at under 200. But again, the statistics, to the math and all that stuff could be a little bit off for about another 4 or 5 games until I get that 10 games worth of data in the database.
Yeah, and the hard part with that is some of these players too. A week they feel like playing, and then a week they feel like they just take off. So they've got to match up with how these guys want to play too.
You made 2 crazy BTTS soccer bets tonight.
What is
BTTS? I'm trying to figure out what that means. I know there's bet, tie, no bet, but I'm not sure what the BTTS is. Well, I have some soccer plays tonight too, so we'll see how they play. The only problem is, and I'm calling you out right here, DraftKings. For some reason, I'm at my desk in my house in Chicago, as I have been since January. Last time I left the state, I was in Florida visiting my folks in January. And for some reason, their geolocating software keeps locking me out, saying that I'm using some proxy thing where I'm trying to log in from elsewhere. That is just some straight up baloney. DraftKings, I'm tired of it. So FanDuel, both teams to score. Yeah, I think I could see that happening. It depends on what games, but anyway, DraftKings, FanDuel, Rivers, and others, point spread or whatever, point bets, points, whatever. All of them are a alternative to me here in Chicago. So get it straightened up, or I'll be getting out, and I'll make certain that I talk about it badly every single day. Next up, Indiana and Toronto. Sean, what do you like there?
I'm going to go Indiana here. They have nobody really to cover Sabonis, and I think Sabonis is going to go off tonight. I actually have a player prop one we can get to at the end of it.
Well, why don't you do it now while we're talking about the game?
Okay, well, I have a bunch of different players, but I'll take Indiana. I have plus 100. I don't know what odds you have.
So to do what? To win?
To win, yes.
Or you're going to be they're minus 1.5. You can get...
Oh, they're minus
plus one. I mean, the line's all over the place. They're minus 1.5 and they're plus one. Which one? You want plus one for minus 110, or you just want to money line it?
I'll just money line it.
So on the money line, you're getting plus 100.
Okay, so I got a player prop thing tonight. 4 players. I'll make this official. I'll just do like $5 because it's plus 925. So we'll start Sabonis over 20.5. I don't think Toronto has anybody to cover him at all. He should go off. Devontae Graham for the Pelicans over 2.5 rebounds. If you look at what he's done so far, he's getting 3-4. Should be able to do that. Daniel Gafford under 6.5 rebounds in the Wizards Celtics game. He's been
does he even play? I never even heard of the guy's name.
You know what? He gets like 4 or 5 rebounds. So I'm not sure where there's 6.5, but it should be all right. And the one we'll get to later, I really like Ja Morant over 25.5 points tonight against Portland. He's done that in every single game and hasn't even, he's just been going off so far this year. So you put those 4 together at plus 925 for $5.
Sounds pretty good to me, Sean. Hopefully you go 4 for 4 there. As far as the game is concerned in the Indiana-Toronto spot, most of the folks are taking the Pacers too, Sean, with the spread and against the number, with the money line and the spread. So that looks like you're on the right side of that bet too, in terms of what the public believes. Atlanta and New Orleans. Sean, is there a team that's playing worse than New Orleans? Well, they had a good game the other day against Minnesota, though I don't know that beating Minnesota qualifies as a good game.
No, but Minnesota up to that point has been playing pretty good, so that was surprising. But, if you did take Minnesota giving up 7-8 points, that's on you because, they're not the type of team to lay those kind of points.
No.
But here I am going to pass just the Hawks being on the road, giving up 5 points. They're just not consistent enough for me yet to start doing that with this.
They're the better team. New Orleans is playing awful. I'm taking Atlanta, Sean. I have them winning by about 28 points, 20 actually by 27. Mark it down, 125-98. I'm predicting that's the final score.
22 points was enough of a margin for you.
Almost. Like I said, I got the score coming in 125-98. We'll see how close that is. A lot of times it's really freaky about the simulation that I do. I would say in the course of the night, I don't know, let's just say there's 10 games, so there's 20 teams. I'll have probably about 6 or 7 of the teams will be within a point or two of where I projected them to be, it's always the other side if it works out or not. But I have Atlanta winning 125-98. Book it. If I can get 125-98, the exact score, Sean, what's going to be that line?
Yeah, that's a crazy line to do that.
Yeah, I might not ever have to make a bet after that, right? be done for the rest of my life. As far as the public is concerned, at -5, a little bit more money, there are a few more bets on the Hawks than there is money. So there are a few people that are taking a little bit of a shot at the Pelicans. But until Zion loses a pound or two, maybe you might want to fade New Orleans. Washington Wizards and the Boston Celtics in the Garden. Boston is a 4-point or 4.5-point favorite, depending upon if you want Boston or Washington, Sean. Looks like the majority, 2/3 of the bettors, 2/3 of the money, back in the Celts. Sean's going to play anything here or no?
No, I'm not going to play anything. I mean, I'd lean the Celtics, but the line's just a little weird to me, too. Yeah, I'm just not going to touch it. Actually,
I think this game, if you wanted a money line game, it's a game maybe Washington could win. I don't know. But then again, Boston, it's tough to say. Washington gives up the most points in the league so far, too. They haven't really done They haven't paid any attention to defense whatsoever. Oh, you mentioned you wanted to take Indiana. I forgot that game. I kind of skipped that game for myself. I'm actually going to take the other side of that game, Sean. I'm going to take Toronto.
Wow.
Yes, I'm a little bit crazy today. So I'm going to take Toronto, and I can take them money line as well. So just to win outright. And I can get plus 102 for that. So that's what I'm going to do.
So we're both getting plus value.
Well, one of us is, I mean, if you put the two together, you can't help but make money, right?
Yeah.
Next game up on the board, Sean, is the LA Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. You would think the LA Lakers only giving up 5 points to the lowly Oklahoma City Thunder would be a layup. But I was watching some of these Lakers games so far this year. Sometimes, man, that's a clown show because everybody's trying to do like their best Harlem Globetrotter impersonation. Behind the back passes, through the legs, jumping in the air, 360 and no look, and then just throwing it to the other team. Russ Westbrook, I think, is starting to wear off a little bit on the other guys.
Yeah, and here the issue here is LeBron's out again, and they just played last night.
Poor guy.
And they played last night.
I guess Enes Kanter hurt his feelings, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. So you got some of the older guys on back-to-back. Lakers are probably going to win this game by more than 5. I'd be more confident just to say they're going to win. I'm just going to skip it.
Yeah, I have no faith in this Laker squad so far. They look disjointed to me. Even against Memphis, man, they did everything they could to help Memphis win that game. So I'm not a big fan of teams that try to help the other team win. As far as the betting public is concerned, believe it or not, 2/3 of the tickets are on the Lakers. That I believe. But the majority of the money is on Oklahoma City. The smart money, the wise guys, Sean, putting their bucks.
That's just would be the logic of LeBron's out and some of these older guys on back-to-back nights. And like you said, they haven't looked good. But they probably looked better yesterday with LeBron out. Some of these new guys got to play with each other, and some of the dynamics switched a little bit. So we'll see.
Minnesota. There's your Minnesota squad, Sean, against Milwaukee. I could not do this game because Minnesota is the only team in the league that has not played on the road yet, Sean. So I don't have any data for them on the road. Although it seems to me that -6.5 for Milwaukee at home against Minnesota seems like a low line. It almost seems so low that it's like a sucker's bet.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, I didn't get a chance to look, who else is out for Milwaukee, because I feel like this line's moved by like 2 points today.
It's actually gone in Milwaukee's favor, though. It's gone from 6.5 to 7.5 to 8.5 at some books. So,
okay. Well, I still have 6, so I thought I saw it at 8 earlier, and now it's down to 6. But either way, this is another one Milwaukee should win, but I'm not confident giving up the 6.
Milwaukee will win. The question is, do they cover that number or not? I think the one thing about Milwaukee is they're in double-digit games. So if they win, they'll probably cover by 10, and if they lose, they'll probably get beat by 10. They're not in close games, Milwaukee, ever. So if you like Milwaukee to win, I think that you can confidently take them against the spread. I like them to win, but I'm not going to confidently take them against the spread.
And it started last year. Minnesota's getting a little bit better. They're okay to play with the points. Just don't play them in the favorite role.
Can I tell you something? Watching them play too, Big Cat, whatever his name is, the guy from Kentucky, Carl Anthony Towns Williams or something like that.
Carl Anthony Towns.
May his mother rest in peace. But the dude's like 17 feet tall. And he's playing 45 feet from the basket constantly. I mean, dude, why are you casting threes? Get down low. The other night, he was like 4 for 17 from three-point line. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah. Get down low, play with your back to the basket, give a couple pump fakes, get the 3 points the old-fashioned way, dude. Then go outside, make them cover you then, inside, outside, not just, I don't want to go down deep. I don't like the elbows. I don't like the physical play. What's wrong with these kids today? Shaq would run that dude right up and over, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, Sacramento and Phoenix. As far as that money on that game is concerned, Sean, most of the folks are taking Milwaukee, as you can imagine, but a little bit of money favoring Minnesota. It's peeling off a little bit from the Milwaukee tickets towards Minnesota. So some bigger bets on Minnesota. Sacramento and Phoenix. Sacramento is getting 7.5 for 8 points. You can get as much as 10 if you want to pay a -165 for that, Sean. That's Phoenix is a team too that's not replaying very well out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, you go to the finals and you win the championship and you just don't care about the regular season, basically.
Well, they didn't win. I thought.
They didn't.
I thought they lost to Milwaukee. You confused me.
They did lose to Milwaukee. I misspoke. They went to the finals, and they they're another one. They'll just turn it on at the end. I feel like that's way too many points for a decent Sacramento team.
Are you going to take Sacramento? Go on.
I will take Sacramento plus 8. Yeah,
for $80.
For $80.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
go big, Sean.
No, I'll just do my normal 30 plus 8.
I actually have Sacramento on a shot of winning this game too, but I don't trust it because I do think if a team's going to blow one team out, it ain't going to be Sacramento blowing out Phoenix. And at some point, Phoenix is going to say, you know what, we're here to play basketball this year. We can't get too far behind. But as far as the money is concerned in that game, Sean, it looks to me like you have the majority of the tickets, about 50-50 of the tickets are split between the two teams. But, man, the money is back in the Suns in a big, big way. Next game, Memphis and Portland. Yeah, I mentioned you like Ja to go off in this spot. These are two teams that don't like to play defense either, tend to let up a lot of points. Heck, Memphis let the lowly Lakers score something like 120, and the Lakers don't even score. So I think this game, Sean, this is another one of my plays tonight. The total in this game is 234. That's a big number, but I think they're going to go considerably over that. Although I hate the about 235 is about the maximum I will go, Sean, because you get one bad quarter, and there I go with my one bad again. But you get one bad quarter, and that starts to be a number that becomes very difficult to get over. But I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to take over 234, which should set up well for your guy for your guy Ja.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that Rich is taking that big number, that means line up at the window and put your money on it. Because
on the under.
No, put it on the over because you don't like these big numbers. So, there's going to be a lot of offense here. I like Memphis. Portland's just very inconsistent. Memphis is young, exciting. Portland's not going to stop Morant like we've talked about. Not going to play much defense. I think Memphis's offense is more consistent than Portland's at this point. If Lillard's having a bad day or just an okay day, Portland doesn't go off.
Well, here's the thing from, as far as the bet is concerned, and right now about the tickets are split 50-50 on the total, but more than 90% of the money is on the under, Sean. So I'm totally bucking the crowd here. That's because people know like they could say that number 230, 234 right in there, man. One bad quarter, it becomes very difficult.
Well, but you can do it both ways. When they go off and, it's 40-35 after the first quarter, that really sets up the other way too. So
yeah, it does. One really good quarter, but statistically speaking, there are more bad quarters than good quarters. And you only need one team to have a bad quarter, and it just nixes.
I'm looking at plus 112 for Memphis. I'm not sure what you have there.
For Memphis to cover, I'm getting minus 110 on my number, Sean.
No,
and for your number on Memphis, are you going to play them outright, or are you going to play?
Yeah, I'm playing them outright.
Money lining Memphis, you're going to get plus 120.
Yeah, I feel that's a really good number.
And then finally, Cleveland is in the La La Land to face off against Kawhi and Paul G3. What do you think about Cleveland getting 8 with Kevin Love, who probably won't be there past the trade deadline?
Probably not. I'm not going to touch this game, but I feel like with a banged up Clippers team, that 8 points is way too much here.
Yeah, Cleveland played pretty well the other night too. They went on the road against I forget who they beat, but they beat somebody. Was it Denver? Yeah, they went into Denver and won.
Yeah. So I feel like this is one of those sneaky games too. Just be careful about putting the Clippers on your parlays just to win, because they're known to another one with the regular season, known to lose to teams like Cleveland, like they shouldn't, and blow parlays. So
I think they're like one of those teams, Sean, that like the Houston Astros we talked about throughout the entirety of the baseball season, that tends to play to the level of the competition that they're playing against, and they just do enough to win.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm going to stay away from it. My overall gut tells me the Clippers probably win a close game, and 8 points is way too much.
I think you're probably right, but I'm not going to bet either side, although most of the folks that are playing that game, Sean, do favor the Cavaliers to hold on, I got the wrong thing spreading, wrong number again, but most people do favor the Clippers at -8, getting over 70% of the money. Looking at the money line, the number was on the Cavaliers because people thought maybe they can get a lottery ticket there. Though I don't know why people consider like plus 230 a lottery ticket. That's just like a run of the mill horse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that wraps up the NBA. Any other ideas that you have in terms of the NBA, Sean?
No, I mean, I'll play Ja Morant separate as well because I think that's the one that definitely is going over. So over 25.5.
There you go with those universal absolute terms. You might as well put Ja down for a sprained ankle in the first quarter, my man.
Well, that's probably the only way he doesn't get those points tonight is an injury. So let's hope that does not happen.
That Sean didn't just straight up jinx him with like a voodoo doll or something. All right, so let's talk about the NHL. I have nothing in the NHL. I'm going to wait till I get 10 games of data. Skip for me, but how about you, Sean?
Yeah, I'm skipping it too. I have enough basketball plays here.
I mean, if there's one game tonight that I feel like there's going to be either it's going to be crazy or let's see, totals. Let's look at the point spreads here on the NHL. And that's the Blackhawks with all of the craziness that's going on around the Blackhawks right now. They haven't won a game yet. And yesterday they had that report come out, which I don't understand, Sean, to be honest with you. But some players in their upper teens or maybe even on the NHL squad, I'm kind of unsure, were somehow harassed sexually by some other dude that was a cameraman, threatened violence and stuff like that. Is that a Sean lock? LOL. Yeah, it is a lock. Like I said,
so Drew's going the other way too.
If I were Ja, I would put casts on my ankle right now. But with all that stuff that's going on in the locker room for the Chicago Blackhawks, but I don't understand if you're like 18-year-old hockey player or 17 or 16, and some guy comes up, why don't you just whack him in the nose? You know what I'm saying? I understand that maybe there's going to be some repercussions for that, but I feel like once you get your story out, 99.99% of the public is going to be on your side. Hey, this guy tried to do some things to me I wasn't appreciative of, and so I broke his jaw. I think that's a fair trade.
I'm going to 100% agree with you, and this was my first thought, but at the same time, I was never involved in anything like that, so I don't know how that goes.
I don't know how that happens.
So I can't even speak on that.
So I feel like Toronto, the Blackhawks are either going to be completely horrible tonight because they're going to be absolutely demoralized, or they're going to rally. So you either take the Blackhawks in the plus line to win the game outright, or you play Toronto to kill them. So if you took Toronto to kill them, so by more than 1.5 goals, you can get plus 120.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you take the Blackhawks on the straight money line, let's see what the money line of that is. I think it's like plus, I don't know.
I see plus 176.
So plus 176. So maybe you put 2/3 of your money. So I'm going to put $7 on Toronto to win by 1.5 or more. And I'm going to put 3 on the Blackhawks to win outright. It probably should be more like 6-4, but let's just go with 7 and 3.
So you're getting plus 176 for Chicago?
And then plus 120 for the
So the only way you lose is if Toronto wins by a goal.
That's it. Otherwise, I win. I come out with a little bit of a profit there. I feel like that game is going to be an emotional game, and the Blackhawks are either going to respond one way or the other with a big effort, or they're going to get whooped. All right. So the next thing, Sean, is MLS. Let's talk some MLS soccer. I'm sure everybody can't wait for that. But I got a few games on tap tonight, Sean. I would be able to put a parlay together, but unfortunately, DraftKings keeps locking me out of my account for absolutely no reason. So everybody tweet at DraftKings. Why are you locking people out of their accounts for no reason? Because your GPS software is not working correctly and placing me in the middle of Lake Michigan or something. But in the terms of the games tonight, can you look this up for me, Sean? Since I really can't access my account.
I actually went to the soccer. I'm on FanDuel. So
all right. So New York Football Club.
Okay.
To win.
Yep.
So they're playing Chicago Fire.
Minus 310.
Holy Lord, they're minus 265 at DraftKings. Ooh, what a big difference. All right. Portland Timbers, put them in there.
Portland.
It should be towards the bottom. They're a late game.
Yeah, I got to go to more. Wow, there's a lot of soccer tonight. Portland got it, minus 125.
All right, that's the same. And then Vancouver should be around plus 135. Vancouver
is plus 130.
All right, so FanDuel's taking a little bit of money out of everybody's pockets, but all right. So that is
plus 447, and I can try to go do that on DraftKings as well and see what the difference is if you have time.
Yeah, go ahead while you do that. Those 3 teams I like. I'm going to put a nickel on them, Sean, for those 3 teams. One of them will tie for sure, but just in case today is my day that I'm walking around lucky, I must be walking around lucky because I can't get into my DraftKings account. And whenever you can't get into your account and you want to make bets, what do they always do, Sean?
They always win.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I'll have to play for you tonight, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead and put that in there.
Plus 489 on DraftKings.
So I'll take the 489. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It is, each sportsbook, both FanDuel and DraftKings have their pros and cons. I will say in parlays, DraftKings is better.
Except they don't let you in your account.
Yeah, as long as you're good with your GPS.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? So they let me into the DraftKings account for the daily fantasy stuff, and I can use my phone to get in. But if I go, this is what I did 2 nights ago. I put in my Monday night. I put in the DraftKings, the daily fantasy lineup. Turned my $3 into $8. I just missed being one of the winners, and then I went to go bet on the game, and it locked me out. So 1 minute I can go do the DraftKings stuff. So the DraftKings, the daily fantasy stuff is recognizing me in Illinois, but the sportsbook is not recognizing me in Illinois. Does that make any bleeping sense at all?
No. I would suggest, and I don't know if they locked you out permanent, like how that works, but maybe
I keep emailing them and telling them that their system doesn't work.
Okay. Either turning your phone off or updating the app.
Well, and now I'm doing it on my computer.
Oh.
So that should be through my router. That should be my IP address,
which
doesn't make really any sense. And I don't have any weirdo software or anything on my computer, or maybe there's somebody hacked into my account or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never actually used either one of them on the actual computer. It's always been on the phone. So
I just used the computer. Crazy. Anyway, all right, Sean, that wraps up this hump day of sports plays. Why don't you quickly recap everything we got? Because I didn't write a damn thing down.
All right, so I got the Braves at plus 104. Charlotte giving up 5. The Pacers beating Toronto at plus 100.
Not going to happen.
I got Sacramento plus 8. It's way too many points there against who did we have? Phoenix, yeah. Memphis beating Portland at plus 120. John Morant over 25.5 at minus 120.
Lord, Sean. Did you like everything? You just circle everything? Like, oh, yeah, I like that. I like that.
And then I had a player prop 2 with one of them was John Morant. And then we had Sabonis over 20.5. Devontae Graham over 2.5 rebounds. And Daniel Gafford under 6.5 rebounds.
All right. And then on my side?
You had...
I bailed the baseball game, although I think it's going to go over.
Yeah, so you had the Hawks giving up 5.
Atlanta.
Yep. You had Toronto opposite side of me with the Pacers. You had Toronto
winner, ding, ding, ding,
Memphis,
ding.
Portland, you expect a lot of points, which
I do.
Definitely
but Josh should have his ankles wrapped tightly before the game starts. Absolutely.
Over 234. And
gonna
then you
happen.
tried the Blackhawks and Toronto. You took Toronto giving up a goal and a half at plus 120, or
for $7.
$7. If they don't get blown out, Chicago's going to win at plus 176 for $3.
So I make a profit as long as Toronto doesn't win by 1 goal. So I would go out right now and find out what the line is for Toronto -1 and just load up on that. You'll be able to buy a house because it's the lock.
And then you had a soccer parlay, which we'll get back to the basketball. You had 2 totals, too. A soccer parlay plus 489 for $5. Vancouver, New York, and Portland.
Mm-hmm.
You had 2 more overs in the NBA. Over 216, which was the Hawks and Pelicans. Is that correct?
Let's see. Because I don't take the 2 sides in one game usually. So hold on 1 second.
Or was it Indiana, Toronto?
No, I took Indiana, Toronto. The 216 is probably Brooklyn and Miami. Brooklyn, Miami, I took the under. And what's the other game in here? Charlotte and Orlando?
Charlotte and Orlando, I think. Yes. Yeah, that was it. Over 216. I have a way higher total, so you got a good deal there.
I did.
And then you got under 219.
Brooklyn and Miami.
Brooklyn and Miami. There you go.
Ah, my God. I'm betting as much as Sean does. You're wearing off on me. My mom told me about bad influences when I was like a kid. I should have listened.
It should be the other way around. You're much older than me, so you should be the bad influence to me.
Yes, I'm like you know how they have those, how they have the cartoons with the devil on one side and the angel on the other side. Do you wonder if the devil and the angel also have a devil and angel on their shoulders too?
Probably.
So if I'm the devil on the devil's shoulder.
Oh wow!
Actually, that's you, Sean, because I used to only do 1 or 2 games a day. Now I'm betting them like popcorn. All right, Sean, that wraps up this Wednesday. Tell everybody what they need to do from here.
Like us on Facebook and Twitter, Moneyline Madmen. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then go create a free account on MoneylineMadman.com.
Yes, absolutely. Do that, because what we're hoping to do, Sean, is we're going to follow our guy Carl Broberg's lead and hope all of our picks tonight give you a fat pocket full of cash, right?
Yeah, I mean, usually NBA player props in the NBA are a lot easier than anywhere else.
Man, there you go with that language again, dude. You're killing me.
All right, if John Morant hurts himself tonight, I don't think I can come back on the show tomorrow. So
God, please, is that all it's going to take? Job, please, hurt your ankle. All right, then, folks. We'll be back in 23 and 30. Until then, I hope every single one of your tickets are a winner. Sean, have a fantastic Wednesday night. Let's go, Ja. Keep them ankles wrapped tight.